Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Stacy with Crafty Dragon Creations, and this is part 2 of my design team project with my kit under lock and key. Information about this kit or where you can get it is down below, as well as a code for 30% off now through the end of August. So go and check that out and have some fun with me. In my last video, we made some papers, and I did go out and spray them with some spray Mod Podge, and that worked out really well. So this is not coming off on me. And then I just kind of, oh, I did that one upside down. Well, I stamped on some of them, just not a lot, but just kind of here and there. Let's see, I didn't do it on that one because there's already some stuff on there. This one, you can see some little stamping in there, and I did some stitch stamping down there, just little handwriting, stamping, pretty subtle, so if it gets covered, that's okay. This one, I just kind of did that around the edges, and then on this side, did those circles. So just kind of some little extra textures and stuff in there. Here I did these little squares. I don't know what I did on this side. Oh, a little stamp there. None of them real spectacular, but so yeah, just go and play with stuff. This one I just put little splotches of stars and stuff and have some fun. So today I am going to make something to go inside this journal. I'm probably going to save the cover until the very end because I think this is going to get quite chunky, and so I want my cover to fit well on here. So plus sometimes it's easier to do things if I can take these out and do it. So I'm going to try to do that. I also tend to get impatient and might just do the cover anyway and worry about the rest later. Okay, so I'm gonna set those aside, and today I'm gonna use one of my collage pages. This is an idea that I just got from Natasha at Treasure Books. If you follow her, you just saw this. It's the T-tag folder, little booklet thing. I will show you a little prototype that I started to make. So kind of looks like a tea bag, but inside there are pockets, and if you wanted to put a little signature in here, you could do that as well, and then, you know, decorate it. And this was made from a 12 by 12 piece of like scrapbook paper. This one was made from a, was it 11 by 11, I think? So I just made it a little skinnier. This is more tea bag shape-ish. This is just more like a tag, but still you get the same effect. So I want to make one out of this, and it's going to be a bit smaller than these two, but that's okay. Now this is, of course, I trimmed some of the sides off. So this is about 10.5 by 8. So we're going to make it 8 by 8. So to do this, you really need to start off with a square. All right, so we will cut this side, yes, Okay, so I should have an 8x8 square. It's a little crooked up there, but it should be okay. And I'll keep this to use as something. Okay, so I want to take your paper and fold it corner to corner. And obviously my paper is not really that straight, so I'm gonna have to trim this, although I don't really think you have to, but I'm going to. So let's see here. If I can get this somewhat straight here. Okay, then I need to do the same to this side. Get off of there. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, so now I have my fold, just so that you guys can see better. I'm just gonna ink this. You won't see it when it's all done, but just so that you can see the line. Okay, so then I'm gonna put this way. I'm gonna measure in from the corner. This is 8x8. I'm gonna go in 4 inches. So from corner, I'm gonna come in 4 inches there. And then on this side, I'm gonna come in 4 inches there. So you can see my little lines there. You can make them bigger. They're not going to show. This is where it's going to be folded. Okay. And then you can either take, like, if you have a fingernail, you take your fingernail or a ruler. Just kind of put it there. You just want to get this started folding. And then once you get it folded, kind of get it folded over, you want to make sure that it measures up with that line. So I've measured and folded it so that it lines up with your crease there. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. You see how that's off, so I'm just gonna pull that down. Side burnished, and then I'm going to fold this over and fold this over. Now this is going to be folded in half, so I want to go ahead and cut off this little piece and this little piece, just so that we don't have that extra bulk on that fold. I'm gonna cut that off. Cut that off. Okay. So then it's going to fold up like so. Kind of get it even. And re-manipulate your paper so that they are pretty much even on both sides. And then what I do is I line this up on my mat, or you could put it up against a ruler. And then you decide how much you want your you know, your tag shape to be. And I'm just gonna go about there. No rhyme or reason. So then I'll get that kind of folded up. And then this one will fold in. This one I'm gonna fold in as well. And then there's our little pocket. So I'm going to glue here and a little bit here. I know my glue thing is globby. Okay, so we'll glue that down. And I want it to dry with it folded so that there's no resistance. And then this, you can cut it off if you want, but you're kind of gonna need some of that stability for the closure. So we're gonna glue this down. You can, of course, ink inside here before you do all this, which I should have done. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I should have inked all the edges first. If you're gonna ink, do it before you glue. Find my ink here. I'm gonna use ground espresso. Again, you don't have to do this, but and this would also be good to do on double-sided paper. Okay. So I'll ink up here before I get that part glued down. Okay, I'll glue this down. Oops. And there we have our little tea bag pocket journal. Okay, so then we can decorate this. You can leave it if you want. I am going to decorate. I'm not sure with what yet. Actually, I might just take, sorry guys, hang on. Okay, I'm gonna take a piece of vellum and put it on the front and use as a pocket. If this were like this one, I could have taken, you know, this paper and decorated, but this, I don't really want to cover all that up because I really like that. So, but I do want to put a little pocket on the front. I think that will be fun. So I'm just gonna make little marks there. Cut it down so it's easier to work with. Yeah, so then we'll have a little pocket there. I'm going to use some double-sided tape. Just like this, what is that, an 1/8 inch size. Okay. Okay, so I have my tape on there. Try to get this as even and straight as I can. Get that burnished down pretty good. So then we have a little pocket there that we could put something or stuff in. And I could still put a little embellishment on here. I think I might do that. And I think I'm gonna put some of this behind it. This is that packaging. See if I can kind of get some ink on here just to give it some depth. I don't know. So yeah, we'll put that on like that. Put this little guy on there. There we go. So we got that. And again, we can use this as a pocket. Ooh, look at that. That fits in there. If only it were taller. And the other side, now this can be a standalone little thing that you can just fit inside. You could also, if you made a little bit bigger one, you could stitch it in so that you would have this, you know, inside your journal. You could also, if you used a paper where it was just kind of like this and then you decorated this nice and pretty, then you could glue this side down, and that way, you know, I hate to glue this side down because I don't want to lose that, but this one I could glue down and it would just be a little flip out. So it's whatever you choose to do. Let me get this inked up here. Okay. Okay, so there we have that. So now if you want to put a closure, you can use a button, you can use a brad, whatever you choose that you want on there. I think, what am I gonna do? I have some of this leftover scrap from the papers that I made. So let's see if I can get some circles punched out of this. This should give me 3. That might be a little big, but we could do it. Could also cut these in half. Let's try that. It makes them even thicker. I guess I could have just folded it. I want to put all those together. Okay. Let me painstakingly put all these together. Okay, and then if you have one of these really small hole punches, you can see the difference there. This will punch just a tiny hole. So I don't know if I can get this in there now. Okay, let's try this. Let's try to go through all of this, which is probably not a good idea. I think I'm going to put it like that. And this is all still wet. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, well, if you have a little punch, you could use that. Otherwise, you can just use a pokey tool. This is just an awl. And just try to get it as in the middle as you can, of course. Okay. Put it where I want it and poke my hole in my paper as well. And then I'm going to fold that up and poke my hole on the back side. Okay, so I have my holes. I don't know if you can see that one. Okay. And then we'll take some string. This is red. I don't want red. Let's see what else I have. Okay, this is purple, but from a distance, it kind of looks brown. I don't know. How about orange? Yeah, let's use orange. All right, so I'm going to take a brad. And probably use one of these colors. Maybe. I need to make my hole a little bigger. Come on. Oops. Does not want to go in there. There we go. Okay. We'll go in there. Get my bread twisted so that it's little prongs aren't sticking up. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. There's that. And then we can actually take a piece that we cut from this earlier and put it on there if you wanted to cover that. Or take a little piece of washi tape. Let me see if I got something readily available here. This one might work. Let's do this one. And kind of make it look a little decorative there. Okay, so we got that. And then on this side, Natasha didn't put anything more supportive on this side, so I'm not going to either. So basically, I think this is what she did. She just kind of tied this on, which is why you wanted to bend this over rather than cut it off. But I'm not going to make it super tight. Okay. And then let's see how much we want on this side. I'll just go around twice. I'm gonna cut this kind of long because we aren't done. Cut this one kind of short because we don't need that. Okay. I'm gonna kind of put that knot more on the inside. All right. So then what she did was she took the little tag from the tea bags that she had and hung it off of here, but I am going to just, like, I have this little tag. I think these are die cuts that I cut out quite a while ago. I just happened to see that I had them. I have 3 little sizes. Actually, let's go with this one. And I think I'll just ink it. And you could put anything you wanted to on here, or you don't have to put anything at all. Let's see, do I want to... Yeah, I'll figure out something to put on here. But I'm just going to tie this on there. Make it as long or as short as you wish. These scissors. And then you have a little tag hanging off of there, so this will go around a couple times. And then we have a little tag. And if you didn't want that hanging, you could stuff it in a little pocket. Isn't that cute? So I'll figure out what to put on there. I'll come up with something. Let me ink the other side though, because this is it's gonna flippy floppy around. There. So then we have little pockets, and somewhere in here we will I'll either have a pocket or a little paper clip. I mean, I'll decorate one up, but could have that in there. Cute. All right, so I will fill this up with goodies at some point. And I think I'll probably just kind of leave this in here for now. And I'll fill it up whenever I figure out whatever I want to put in there. But that's cute. All right, so, and as you can see, this is going to be kind of bulky. So if you do put it in a journal, expect some bulk. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to stop there for now on this one. Just a quick little embellishment for this journal and kind of a little tutorial on how to make this if you haven't seen Natasha's video already. I'll try to remember to link her video down below as well, so you can go and check out her video and all her cool ideas. She's amazing. All right, guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be working on this probably most of the month, so stay tuned, and we'll have some fun. I have some cool ideas coming up, I think are cool ideas. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And again, all the information is listed down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.